and asked him what he was doing over here, and he broke out trying to run. And Lil Crazy D would respond, "Cuz I cut his ass down with the 30-06 with the infrared scope. I f***ed his ass up cuz he was squirming, and that's when Joker would pull out his 4.5 and tell Monster Cody that he had shot that baby Lope in the head. And he would say, I can't stand to see a bitch made motherfucker suffering." Now, although he was active in the streets,
I mean, at least he took him out of his misery. You feel me? They say he was squirming after Lil D hit him with that fire. He squirmed a little bit, and Lil Monster say, I went ahead on and took him out of his misery, man. I can't stand to see him suffering. Got a little hard.
he would still manage to graduate high school.
YouTube. What's that word, man? What up with y'all, man? What's happening? Happy Monday, man. Shout out to the Second Reaction Channel squad. We back like that, Jack, no cap, you feel me? Let's see what we got going, man. Let's see what we got going, bro. My bad, gang. I should have been had it pulled up. What y'all think? I know that what y'all thinking. Y'all thinking like, Don, you should have been had it pulled up, man. Let me see where I'm at. How y'all feeling though, man? How y'all Monday been going, man? Hopefully you guys are
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car.
Hopefully you guys are tapped in.
Okay, you ready?
Feel me? And when I say tapped in, I mean tapped in like locked in, bro. You know what I mean? You gotta lock in, bro. For sure. Yeah. Anyway, though, we back, though. Think we back in LA, man. We talking about the 8 Trade Gangsta Crip, man. Shout out to 8 Trades. You did what I'm saying. We back in LA, like I said. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to my dog, Boys in the Hood TV. He really got some dope content over there, man. So make sure y'all check in with him. And make sure y'all subscribe to this channel, too, man. Y'all know how we coming over here on the Second Reaction Channel, the Second Reaction Channel squad. So let's all see what's popping, man. So we talking about Lil Crazy D from 8 Trade Gangsta Crips. They say he was shot 13 times and he shot multiple Rollin 60 Crips. That's crazy. So I guess that's why Spody Face, cause I consume some of the No Jumper content. So Spody Face was like him sitting down with Aunt Hefe. It like that was dope because they are enemies, bro. And I think Spody is a Rollin 40s Crip, but he's a part of that Rollin card. You did. I know a little shine, man. I've been doing my own work anyway. We're gonna tap into it and see what's going on with this boy.
Welcome to Boys in the Hood
Crazy
TV.
D.
Today we're gonna be discussing the life of Lil Crazy D from the 8 Trade Gangsta Crips. Now, Lil Crazy D was born Nate Dwayne on August 4th, 1960.
The hell him to it. I may be jumping the gun. He probably gonna tell us that, huh? My bad. Let's go.
From the 8 Trade Gangsta Crips. Now, Lil Crazy D was born Nate Dwayne on August 4th, 1965 in South Central LA. Now, as a kid, he would be raised in the Manchester Square section of LA along with his siblings. Now, growing up, he would have a good childhood and love playing outside with his brothers and sisters. But the neighborhood would eventually start slowly changing by 1970 as the gang started to spread through the city. Now, his area would become the home to the notorious 8 Trade Gangsta Crips. Now, as a kid, Nate would attend Raymond Avenue Elementary. And later on, he would attend Horace Mann Junior High. Like most kids his age, Nate would get into a lot of mischief here and there, but nothing out of the norm. But things would all change when Nate would see his older brother, Dietrich, aka Big Crazy D, join a local gang called the 8 Trade Gangsta Crips. Now, this will have an impact on Nate's life because not only was his brother a gang member, but he also had friends that was a part of the gang. So it was only a matter of time before he would get his put on. But in 1979, a war would break out between the 8 Trays and the Rollin 60s, and the 8 Trays were in need of new blood. And by the age of 14, Nate would get his put on to the 8 Trays, and he would go by Lil Crazy D under his big brother, Big Crazy D. He, along with Lil Monster and Lil Spike, will be the third generation of the 8 Trays. Now, around the same time, things will really start to heat up in the streets when the Rollin.
Hey, wasn't Monster Cody? Wasn't he an 8 Trade Gangsta Crip? I just remember hearing about Monster Cody, man. Like he was one of them ones. They say you think Big U was scary. Monster Cody, they say he was scary. You know what I'm saying? Monster Cody, he was scary. You feel me? Like, for real. I don't know, that was just on my mind.
60s would gun down Lucky and Twinkie from the 8 Trays. Now with these 2 deaths, the 8 Trays were now out for blood, and Lil Crazy D, even at his young age, will become one of the most active members with the war with the Rollin 60s. And by the fall of 1980, the 8 Trays had lost 5 soldiers, and the Rollin 60s had lost a total of 8. Now although Lil Crazy D was deep into the streets at the time, he would attend Washington High School. Now eventually his big brother Crazy D would get locked up. So without his big brother there, Monster Cody would help Lil Crazy D and other third generation members to sharpen their fighting skills in case they ever were in a situation where they had to use their fists instead of a gun. Now around December of 1980, Lil Crazy D, along with Monster and others, had plans on robbing the Western surplus to get some new guns to go to war with the Rollin 60s. They would get all liquored up, and Lil Crazy D was told by Monster to go to the crib and get a shotgun from his brother, Lil Monster. But before they can even execute their plan, the police would spoil it. And this would lead to one of the homies getting arrested. Now later that night, Lil Crazy D, while at home, would get a phone call that Monster Cody and Lil Hunchy had been shot at by the Rollin 60s. But Monster Cody would be severely injured and was currently in ICU. Now once he recovered, Monster Cody would call Lil Crazy D up on the phone and tell him what happened. Now during this conversation, Monster Cody would leave out the fact that Lil Hunchy had left him hanging, which is how he got shot. And only weeks later, after the shooting on January 1st, 1981, the 8 Trays would be out seeking revenge for Cody. Now Lil Monster would lead the mission. Lil D and the others job were to carry out hitting targets that were known Rollin 60 spots and shoot them up. Now this mission would go on for 3 nights, and by the 3rd night, Lil Crazy D was said to be going from house to house looking for 6 old members. Now these shootings would have the streets on fire, and the police were on high alert. Eventually, Lil Crazy D would report back to Monster, letting them know that they had a successful mission. Eventually, the LAPD crash unit would pay Monster Cody a visit while in the hospital, trying to get information from him to find out who was responsible for the string of shootings. Now later on, Lil Crazy D would get a phone call from Monster informing him that Lil Hunchy had left him hanging when the 60 shot at him. Now this would piss Lil Crazy D off, who would simply tell Monster, "I'll handle it." Now from this point on, Lil Crazy D would become one of the most vicious 8 Trays in the hood. Now the death count would continue to rise between the 8 Trays and the 60s all throughout the 80s. Now eventually most of the 8 Tray main shooters would be locked up, with the exception of Lil Crazy D. And in 1983,
imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
OP from the 8 Trays would be gunned down by a Rollin 60 Crip by the name of Keita Rock, who would eventually be arrested for his murder. Now Lil Crazy D and Joker will be out on the warpath, and because they couldn't get Keita Rock, who is now locked up, they would go looking to shoot any 6-0 member that they could find outside. Now around the mid-80s, Monster Cody would get out of jail, and Lil Crazy D and Joker would brag about how they caught a baby loaf in the 8 Tray neighborhood trying to tag on the wall. Now Joker would tell Monster, "Hey, we rolled old boy up and asked him what he was doing over here, and he broke out trying to run." And Lil Crazy D would respond, "Cause I cut his ass down with the 30-06 with the infrared scope. I f***ed his ass up cause he was squirming," and that's when Joker would pull out his 45 and tell Monster Cody that he had shot that baby loaf in the head. And he would say, "I can't stand to see a bitch made motherfucker suffering." Now, although he was active in the streets,
I mean, at least he took him out his misery. You feel me? They say he was squirming after Lil D hit him with that fire. He squirmed a little bit, and Lil Monster say, "I went ahead on and took him out his misery, man. I can't stand to see him suffering. Got a little hard.
he would still manage to graduate high school and even hold down a job as a mechanic at Sears. Now in 1985, things would really heat up between the 60s after Lil Crazy D homie Joker shot and killed Mumbles, who was from Rollin 60s at a store on Florence and Normandy. But in return, the 60s, P.D. Wack and Lil Eddie Boy would go to Joker's family house and execute his mother and little brother.
Oh my God.
Now eventually both P.D. Wack and Eddie Boy would be arrested for this murder.
They took the beat to a whole nother level, bro. They executed his mama and his little brother. Come on, gang. Heartless, yeah.
And Joker would also be arrested for murdering Mumbles. Now with Joker locked up, who is his road dog, Lil Crazy D will be out for blood against the 60s. He will really start applying pressure, getting into shootouts, which will lead to him to being shot over 9 times over the next few years.
Yeah.
But somehow, Lil Crazy D will survive every attempt on his life. Now, because Lil D had built up such a vicious reputation in the streets, he had created a lot of enemies. And at this point, he was seen as a trophy for any hood if he was to get murdered. And this would lead to another attempt on his life for the 10th time. But this time, it would almost take his life. He would be shot in the head with the bullet going through his left eye, nearly removing his scalp from his head. Now, he will be in ICU for a while, but eventually he will recover.
So that will happen to
his left eye and have to wear an eye patch for a while. Now, even after having this near-death experience, this would only make Lil Crazy D that much more savage, seeking vengeance of any of the 8 Trey rivals. He will become one of the most hated and respected 8 Treys in the city of LA. Now, by the early 90s, he will be in and out of jail on different charges. Now, also at the same time, his big brother, Crazy D, in 1992, will be sentenced to life in prison for a double murder, which stemmed back on Mother's Day in 1988. Now, this would affect Lil Crazy D heavily because he didn't believe that his brother was responsible for those murders. And in 1994,
Bob told us that they were going to test the alien craft that night.
Word would get out that a man named Thomas Ray had allegedly snitched on another homie from the set. On October 28th, 1994, there was a party being thrown by the 8 Treys on 82nd Street. Now, Lil Crazy D and another 8 Trey member named Young would pull up to this party on a mission looking for Thomas Ray. Now, D would start walking through the party, asking people where they was from, even though he knew everybody there was from the 8 Treys. Now, he would then make his way to the backyard where he would find Ray at. Once Ray saw Lil Crazy D, he would start going up to other members, pleading with them to not allow Crazy D to shoot him. And that's when Lil Crazy D would walk up, shoving people out the way and pull out his gun. He would put the gun straight to Ray's head, forcing him to get on the ground. But Ray wasn't going down without a fight, so he tried to wrestle the gun from Lil Crazy D, and it would become a tussle. Now, another 8 Trey member would try to break up the fight, but Crazy D gun would go off, and this would lead to that man being shot in his hand. Now, eventually, Ray would break free and try to run, but he would be shot in his back at close range and collapse on the ground. But afterwards, Lil Crazy D and Young would run back to the car, but before leaving, they would let off more shots aimed at the house. By the time the police and EMTs arrived, they would find the house riddled with bullets, and they will also find Thomas Ray in the backyard, and he will be pronounced dead from a fatal gunshot wound to the back. Now, multiple witnesses from the party would identify Lil Crazy D and Young as the shooters. Now, eventually, both will be arrested and charged with first-degree murder and attempted murder. Now, during the trial, a total of 4 witnesses from that party would testify against Lil Crazy D, and it will be revealed by the prosecution that the victim, Thomas Ray, was not a snitch, nor was he a part of any active open investigation at the time. And by the end of the trial, Lil Crazy D and his co-defendant Young will both be found guilty of first-degree murder and attempted murder, and will be sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. Now, while in prison, Lil Crazy D would eventually change his life around and get his college.
Y'all already know, gang. It's cool, though.
Degree while pursuing culinary. Now, after serving 25 years in prison, he would finally get released in April of 2020 to a halfway house. Now, at this point, he wanted to rebuild a relationship with his family, especially his 3 kids, whose lives he had missed out on. But only 3 months later, in July 2020, Lil Crazy D would die of natural causes while still living in the halfway house. I would like to thank everybody for tapping in, and I'll see y'all next time.
Bro, it's crazy that he died from natural causes though. I thought he was gonna say somebody had done smacked Lil Crazy D. He died from natural causes though, man. That's crazy as hell. I guess the ops couldn't get the drop on him, bro. I bet they were mad as hell when he died. They like, boy, we sure wanted Lil Crazy D. We couldn't get him though, gang. We couldn't get Lil Crazy D. Lil Crazy D slipped through our hands, but God got him. I don't know. Anyway though, shout out Lil Crazy D, man. Long live Lil Crazy D, man. He was for sure crazy as you know what I'm saying? But long live him. I'm pretty sure you got a family and things of that nature, man. Anyway though, gang, let me know how y'all feel about it though, folk, in the comment section down below, man. Don't forget to like that video. Don't forget to subscribe. After subscribe, make sure you rank it up. After you rank it up, make sure you hit all of them. I want y'all to miss none of these bangles, man. More life or no life. More wood nowhere. Now we coming. OTM gonna get it out the mud every single day. I go by done. Make sure y'all stay tapped in with me, man. I got a lot of love for you, man. But God love you more than me, so tap in with the biggest. You dig? I'ma holler at y'all on the next video though. Let's get it. Okay. You know we got the streets, nigga. We got the trap too. I say my trap doing numbers, I just bust another jewel. Got a player around the corner, hey. I say my trap doing numbers like that 05 summer. Got a quarter pound on me, hey. The trap doing numbers.